What's up YouTube, Dramatillo here, and today I want to speak with you about FromSoftware and what the future holds for Elden Ring and why FromSoftware, even them, like as far as like their legacy goes, they have been pretty great, especially with Elden Ring, which I think really like broke like the gaming industry. I think it really provided a very high level of gaming such that should be made as an example for many other companies who are creating games, especially in the open world. But even with their legacy, there is one specific thing that is going to be very scary for them, I think. Now, whether or not they actually are, sitting and being scared, which I don't think they are, but hypothetically they should be. And my point is that Elden Ring has really put like a very high bar, okay, for just everything. You look at the open world, like how everything is so magical, and they basically have created such a maybe we can call it sort of like a formula, okay? They have created a formula that is a combination of such that creates a game that is exciting, and also you have a very strong sense of like, you don't actually want to die, or you don't need to die, or don't want to die, as in opposed to other games where you play a game and it's like, okay, I just died. That's okay. That's fine. I can just restart. And a lot of times games are very forgiving, but the game is in a way stressful, but in a very good way, because once you go through like something that is like, let's say like a boss, which is like a very hard boss, you start to, you try one time, 5 times, 10 times, and you die every single time. And, after a while you realize, okay, so it's either I go and I level up, I try to become stronger, and maybe I'll have a little bit better time, or I just actually put the time and effort to try to learn the movements of that boss. So you go into the boss and maybe you intentionally want to die, but you go in and you're like, okay, so this is like the animation, this is what he does, this is how he hits, and you start to learn that. And with the learning curve, you start to become more and more successful, or should I say more, you're starting to be more in the direction of actually winning that boss. And man, once you get that boss, once you really put it down, put its ambitions to rest, these foolish ambitions to rest, you then you get filled with such excitement, and it's like, wow, like what is more in store for me? And what's really great about this game is that there is a lot that is in store for you. There really is. It's magical. It's very, you might like go into like a path, and then you go like left instead of right, and you just discover a whole new place that you didn't even think like, and it's like, wow, like so many people can miss that place, but it's like you just found it, and now you're like in there, and you're trying to figure it out, and you find like different mobs and the variations of the mobs too, by the way. Like there are so many different variations. You don't really see that often, even in like games that are like MMORPGs. You don't have that many like just different mobs, and just everything. As I said, it's just such a great formula for just an epic game, just an epic gaming experience. And this is the part where I want to go to my initial point of this video. The reason why FromSoftware should actually be like fearful of what they do with the DLC is that it's going to be very hard to satisfy the people who have experienced what they have experienced. And the issue is that especially when you're new to Elden Ring, right? You go in there and everything is fresh, especially if you're like not even into like the Souls like games or the FromSoftware games. Like maybe you didn't even play like Dark Souls, and you go in there and the game is so fresh and new, and everything is just so exciting and amazing. But after you have finish the game and maybe you 100% it or platinum it if you're on console or PlayStation, whatever, wherever you play the game. When you finish it, it's like, you can only experience that whole game one time. Now, regardless of how different the DLC is going to be, different mobs, different bosses, it's going to be very, very hard to let people give them the same type of excitement they had in the first game. Yeah, it might get close, but it's going to be very, very hard. And people are not going to be able to distinguish between okay, so my expectations should be from the DLC as a DLC, not as a new game totally. Because at the end of the day, I already played Elden Ring. I've already played the game. So the mechanics, the general idea of the game, I already know that. But the problem with the gaming industry, and I know the gaming industry because I've seen the forums and I've seen the messages and people are talking about that. And man, people have such high standards in general. So not even mentioning a game like Elden Ring that again put the bar so high. So my fear is that people are going to get into the DLC thinking they will get a totally fresh feeling like they had when they started playing Elden Ring. And that is just impossible. It's just impossible. You are not going to be able to experience that thing. It's still going to be Elden Ring that you already know. So yeah, the mobs are going to be different. Yeah, different bosses, different mechanics, a story. But again, the game is not going to be as exciting as Elden Ring. And I hope people are going to have that in their minds as they play the DLC whenever it's going to come out. Because that will be a very detrimental thing about people's opinions. And I fear that, again, the bar was set so high that people are just going to be expecting the impossible. They're going to expect something that is impossible. And I think that FromSoftware should really, really take their time with the DLC. I really think they should take their time, even if it means even in another 3 months or half a year. Although we still, at this point, we don't even actually know when the DLC is going to come out. But even though a few years did pass since Elden Ring originally was released, I think they should really take their time. They really need to perfect it, and I trust them. They have released a game that I believe is is just an incredible experience. I can honestly say that Elden Ring pretty much ruined open world games for me, because now when I go to a game and again, this is not me trying to compare between the games. I understand these are completely different games, but if we take open worlds, usually for me, it's going to be MMORPGs. So you take a game like a New World or a Guild Wars 2, or you take a game I don't know, man, all these other MMORPGs, the excitement is just not there. It's just, the bar was set so high. And the excitement and what is this place? How did I even get here? You go through a portal and a whole new place is revealed, and all of a sudden you find this crazy boss, and it's just so exciting. And it's going to be very, very, very hard to get people what they want. And this is my point. And so FromSoftware, I trust them. I know they're going to do a great job, but again, they really need to take their time, and I think they really I don't know, but they really need to make sure that it's really perfected in such a way, because Elden Ring really changed gaming. And I don't think I only speak for myself. I believe that many gamers, because I've seen the comments, regardless of the social media I'm on, if it's on TikTok or YouTube, I've seen the messages people are writing, and people are basically saying the same thing as I did. They all say that it really changed their perspective over gaming. And I put my faith on FromSoftware, but this is definitely something that I really hope that gamers and FromSoftware lovers or open world games lovers or people who just love like all this genre or people who are just in love with Elden Ring will understand that at the end of the day, this is going to be a DLC. It's not a whole new game, a whole different game. And, you know, I can't wait for that. I cannot wait for the DLC. I'm sure it's going to be spectacular. And let me know your thoughts on the matter. Like, what do you think is going to be? Do you think people are going to be extremely satisfied from the DLC? Do you think that maybe they are going to be, divided opinions about it? How do you think the DLC is going to be like? And what do you think people's opinions are going to be about the DLC? And tell me, when do you think it's going to be released? Do you think it's going to be anytime soon? Do you think they're really going to take their time, as I said? Let me know in the comments. I'm really fascinated to hear your thoughts. And I thank you for watching the video, and let me know about other subjects or things you want me to talk about as far as like gaming. But I will see you in the next video. Peace out.